Yeah, okay, we started recording. Sorry. I'm used to it being a bit longer before it actually tells me, hey, we're recording now. Thank you everyone for tuning into this YouTube video. I am joined with Frank, Greg, Peter, and AJ, and collectively they all make a New Jersey band called not Hive. I was about to say Hive. They're called Half, and they released an album later this year in July called Hive. Now, gentlemen, how are you all doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Doing great.
Welcome. My pleasure. I'm doing great, and it's to my understanding that American Thanksgiving is upon you. So, happy American Thanksgiving.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, happy belated Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And you are welcome. No, so I guess really, how is America right now?
Don't look outside.
It's a loaded question.
That yellow glow to the south is a country on fire.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time right now. It is a year. We are living currently in a span of time, which is relative. You know, this time is convoluted. But yeah, we're living in a thing right now. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it's a mood. It's a bad mood.
Yeah.
I think Thanksgiving probably is going to be weird because I think my dad feels like he personally lost an election. So, so should be fun. Everybody's having a great time. We're all getting along.
I'm actually quarantined for the holiday.
Oh,
Smart.
No, I can't go anywhere. I might have COVID. I'm not sure yet.
Oh.
Way
And
to
on
break
that
it-
bombshell.
Yeah, way to break us the news, Frank.
Well, no, I feel fine. So at worst, I probably just am
Asymptomatic?
Yeah. I'm not trying to bring it down, but
Okay. Well, I guess with that out of the way, should we start talking about the music?
oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Oh, that's why we're here.
I mean, if you want, yeah. I guess we could talk about
I thought
that.
this was a political show.
No, that's on Thursdays. That's on Thursdays.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's all good. No, so you released The Hive back in July, and I gotta say, I was listening to it a bit earlier today, and excuse my French, but holy shit. That was an amazing album. Like, from start to finish, it was very solid. I was getting a lot of Blackwater Park from Opeth while listening to it. It's a very solid album. But for all of you, when it came to creating the album, what was the biggest, I guess, hurdle to kind of jump over when it came to trying to finalize it?
Actually recording it, maybe.
The studio. Actually, the studio wasn't built.
Oh,
Yeah. The whole EP came about pretty organically back in 2014, and we had the tracks done, and then the hardest part was we had no studio yet because AJ still had to build it, and then I hadn't ever screamed before, so we were like not sure how that was going to go. So that was, I guess, kind of an obstacle, but it turned out fine.
Yeah, because I think we recorded drums at my old spot, which was very small. It was basically a closet. And then I think it was right around the time that we finished recording drums, we were like, oh yeah, and like next week we'll do bass or something. And then I was like, oh yeah, guys, we're not going to be at that place anymore. Give me like a month to like build out the new space, and we'll be good. And then a year later we finished it. So yeah,
I remember. I think we tracked bass like the day after Thanksgiving,
something like that. Yeah, because
it
we
was
moved,
Black Friday.
Yeah, we moved out of that spot. We started recording drums in I think July.
Well,
it
you tracked the drums the day of SummerSlam 2014. I know because I was hanging.
That's right, because you were hanging out and watching. So it was like that. Yeah, it's July, right? It's like late July.
Usually late July. Sometimes it's in August, but
Yeah, so we did drums in July, and we were like, yeah, we'll come back in and record, everything else later. And then I think I finished recording drums on like a Monday, and I think that Thursday we were like, me and the guy that I ran the studio with at the time were like, yeah, let's get the hell out of here and go get a better spot. And we did. And then I think it got to be, it had to have been like November of that year. I think I was talking to Greg, and he was like, dude, can we just like, doesn't have to sound great. Just can we fucking like do it, like do the bass so we can finish everything else? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like I wound up like taking a bunch home, and like we recorded guitars, bass, acoustics in my bed and solos in my bedroom. And then at my parents' house when I was still living there. And then when we had like a rough, like we basically once there were walls up at the studio, we brought everything in, and I reamped the electric guitars and the bass, and then we started doing vocals there, and it was like a total like shit show setup. Like I was like my computer was sitting on top of a door or something, and to be able to like to have everything there, and then Frank was screaming like I'd be standing at the computer, and Frank would be like right here, and he would have like the lyrics like off to the side, and we'd be like, oh yeah, like redo this line, and like it was very very thrown together, but it worked. So
it was DIY, bro.
Yeah, do it your damn self. But yeah, no, it was it took infinitely longer than it was supposed to, which I guess tracked when we did that same mentality followed suit when we did the full length. But it took almost a year for us to track that EP and then get it out.
That is crazy to find this out, but no, it turned out great. I just gotta say that, like, I love it. I think it's amazing. Like, I was listening to it and was just like, the fuck am I listening to? This is amazing.
Oh, and we were listening to a lot of Opeth at the time. So,
actually, answering the question, it was a lot of Opeth we were listening to.
Okay, because that makes sense. Because I was hearing a lot of kind of proggy stuff, and I was just like, okay, I can deal with this. This is good. Yeah.
And like we practiced in AJ's like freezing cold garage, so like all the songs just had this like bleakness to them, like because we were just freezing cold for like 6 months.
You're giving it the true Swedish Death progressive effect. Got it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it all kind of started because Frank, Frank, Pete, and I are in another band called Ophidius, and it's very, like, tech death, very note, like, lots of notes, lots of crazy tempos, and lots of blast beats and stuff like that. And Frank was like, I want to write easier songs, still with a lot of blast beats, but just easier. And yeah, like it started out, he had already had a couple songs out together, and then like he and I got together to like finish a bunch of them, well, all of them. And then Greg came kind of later on in the process and like really helped finalize everything and kind of get it all together before we actually started recording.
Okay. Now, from the album The Hive, for each of you individually or together as a band, what song did you feel come out the best?
It's tough.
I would either say Replicated or Hive. Personally. But probably Hive.
Yeah, I think Hive turned out really cool because that was like there was a lot of stuff that I think we did in that song that like, at least for me and I don't know about for Frank or not, but like it was exploring a lot of guitar stuff that we really hadn't done a lot of before in terms of like super like droney kind of guitar parts, very like focused on ambience and like having the drums be a little bit slower in some parts to help kind of groove. And so I think I think that song kind of laid down a lot of the groundwork for how we would think about songs going forward. Like I kind of like to think that when, at least when I'm like trying to put songs together, that's a song I listen back to a lot and be like, I kind of think that if there was like a song that to me kind of encapsulates what the band does, I think Hive, the song, is a pretty good, like, hey, you want to know what Hath sounds like? Like, listen to that song. It kind of, I think, kind of catches a lot of the stuff that we do in bits and bobs and stuff like that.
I think that's fair. Like Hive does. There were a lot of stuff. There were a lot of things in that song that we hadn't tried yet that we now do all the time. I didn't really think about that. Swarm. I wanted to say Swarm because he and I, we both wrote that song in like half an hour. We jammed it out and it was done. So that's like an easy answer for that reason. But then like, I'm trying to think. All the songs like kind of came about in their own way. I guess Hive, yeah. It's kind of just the all around track that covers everything in the sound.
What about you, Pete? You gonna say Atropos?
Yeah, I was probably gonna say Atropos. The only song on that EP I played. Yeah, so give you I guess a little bit of backstory. So while they were all, I wasn't in the band yet while they were doing Hive, and like AJ said, we had Ophidius on the side, and I didn't. Or I wasn't asked to join until Willowtip came in the picture and started talking about releasing music and kind of turning Hath from just a one-shot project, like, oh, let's just do this for fun, whatever, to let's make it a full band and like try and play shows. And it was just the three of them, and we got to play shows. We're gonna need a second guitarist, and here I am. So that Hive was already done by the time I joined, and it was pretty much just like learn the songs. By the way, we have a full length, learn all the songs, write solos. And then when Willowtip earlier this year asked us, hey, Hive is great. It's coming up on like a 5-year anniversary since you guys put it out. Would you be interested in doing like a re-release, like because we had never done anything like merch wise or physical pressing for Hive, so they were like, yeah, we'll do vinyl, we'll do CDs, we'll do like merchandise for it, like shirts and sweatshirts and like the whole normal release. We're like, yeah, of course, let's do it. Well, what can we do to I guess make it more special? Because like it had been out for what, 5 years at that point?
Yeah, 5 years as of this past October.
Yeah. So at the time 4. Yeah.
Yeah, and Willowtip was like, "How about another song?" So we were like, "Yeah, that's easy enough." And we were trying to get everything together as fast as possible to like coordinate it around a tour earlier this year. And then COVID happened, which, kind of put the kibosh on everything. So how finished would you say Atropos was when we picked it up? It was pretty far along.
Yeah, it was probably, it didn't have vocals yet, but I would probably say musically, it was probably like 90% done. We only really changed, we cut a bunch and then added a section. And that was pretty much all we did. And then we added a solo to it. Yeah. So I was probably say it was like 90% done musically, but it just didn't have any vocals yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that's on Hive. That's the only song I played on. So yeah, by default, I'll say that one. Out of the all the songs on Hive, probably Swarm is my favorite to play. I feel like that's of the 5-6 songs. That to me is the most unique on the EP.
It's a bop.
I feel like that's the one that's the most like a typical song structure.
Yeah, like it follows a pretty like routine, like intro, verse, chorus, bridge, extra bridge. Solo, outro.
I got bridges upon bridges here, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, compared to last year's full-length release of Rot and Ruin, what makes Hive different?
I think we were still I think we knew kind of what Hive was or what Hath was supposed to be when we were writing Hive. And I think it was more of like expanding upon the things that we liked about Hive, some things that we maybe we wished we could have done differently. Like for instance, I know with the song Worlds Within, so Frank had like the first half of that song pretty much like locked up, couldn't figure out how to get past that. And then I had written like an acoustic thing in the middle. And I was like, well, I really like how we did the acoustic like break in Replicated, but we will probably never play that live in its like entirety because it's such a long break where it's clean guitars or acoustics or whatever. So when I did the acoustic part in Worlds Within, I was like, I want to do that, but maybe I'll have like the drums and bass hold a groove or something. So that way we're more inclined to want to play it when we play live. For the record, we haven't actually played the whole thing live yet, but we can if we decide to. But it was like that. I think it was just like kind of things like that. Like we took a lot of the stuff that we liked about Hive, some things that maybe we wished we could have done differently. We added singing to a few of the songs, which is something we wanted to do on Hive, but we couldn't. You know, it was. I think by the time that we decided we wanted to do that, it was too late. We had already kind of like these songs are finished. We don't need to go like out of our way to try to like force something into these songs when we like them exactly how they are. There's no sense in doing something radically different to them.
Yeah, like Hive was a very casual, relaxed thing where we were just like, oh, we have these songs and we're just going to put them on this EP, and they are how they are. But with the album, we were a lot more focused because we actually had like an idea of what we like want to sound like or still sound like and expand upon. So it was much more conscious effort when we wrote the songs. Like we were much more driven towards trying certain things. So it was more motivated, I guess you could say.
Yeah, at least, working alongside you guys this long and, not having really been involved with Hive, more involved with Rod and Ruin. When you guys dropped Hive, I feel like there was no expectation around it. not in a negative way at all. It's just like, it's free, it's online. If you like it, cool, whatever. And like you guys have said before, like you made a Facebook page the day you dropped it and you were like, we're only making this because we need somewhere to post it.
Yeah, no, we did the Facebook, the Bandcamp, the email, all in this, and dropped the EP all on the same day. And then after it dropped, we did virtually no promotion for it. We were just like, hey, here's an EP. If you like it, go get it. It's free. If you don't like it, well, then don't listen to it.
Right, like there's like kind of no expectation. It's really just all for fun. Versus when I came into the fold and we were in like the final stages, I guess, of Rot and Ruin. It was much more not polished, not a business, but like the band was a real thing. It's like, okay, this is how it's going to work. We're like actually going over everything with a fine-tooth comb. We want to make sure there are no loose ends and no questions about anything before we submit it.
Yeah, I think we had that same attention to detail for Hive. I just think it was probably a lot more because like when we got approached by Willowtip to sign with them, the album was for the most part done. Like I think we were like we had like some last minute things that we were trying to like finish up either with vocals or with guitars or something like that. The solos hadn't been tracked, which kind of worked right in line with the signing and then getting Pete on board and all that stuff. But yeah, I can definitely agree that once the label was involved, it was like, oh, there's like somebody who's who now an external party who has an interest in us as well. So maybe we not only need to make sure that we're happy with it, but that they're cool with it, so that way it can get pushed and other people can like it as well.
Okay, cool. I'm very curious about this next question I do have. Why the name Hath for the band?
Frank, why don't you take that one, man?
I wanted something very simple that had no that people couldn't associate with something else. And hath is just this old word that people don't use anymore. And I was just like, this is it. It sounds great. It's perfect. I was like obsessed.
Yes, we have. I think it's still in our drive. I made sure to copy it over when I got rid of our Dropbox. It was a text file with all the different names that we were workshopping, and there are easily 100 names on that list. And I think we even settled on one. And because I know that because I made a Facebook page for it and it sat private. And then we were like, yeah. And you were like, yeah, no, we're not using that. We're going to use Hath instead. And I was like, all right, okay, sure. I guess because at the end of the day, we were like, I don't know, like all the cool band names are already taken. Like Death is already a band. Slayer is already a band.
Yeah.
We're a little late to the game.
Yeah, so like all the cool names were taken. So at this point, it's more or less just like, I feel like more often than not, bands are getting looked at for like, obviously the music, but like when their cover shows up on like a Spotify playlist or on like a website or something, or walking through the store and you're looking at like the CDs or the vinyls, like I feel like is going to be more inclined to pick up a cooler looking album art and be like, wow, that's a fucking dumb name. Let me listen to this. and then they'll play the song and they'll be like, oh, that was cool. Or, so I feel like now like names are kind of more or less just like something that you have to have just so that you have some semblance of like identifying a band. But I think it is exactly what Frank says it is. It's a short name. It's very easy to remember. It's not difficult to pronounce or anything like that, and it looks kind of cool on a shirt. So I guess it does everything it's supposed to do. But I at the time when he brought that up, I was like, I'm not gonna argue about names unless it's actually stupid. And at that point, I'm just gonna be more worried about making sure that it looks, that the visuals behind like the cover and then obviously like the music is good to then carry it forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, at the time when we were doing this,
it wasn't supposed to be any.
The only people who knew we were in bands were our moms. Like, so it's like, hey, we're gonna call this Hath, and me and Asia were like, all right, man, call it whatever you want. And now look at us,
being interviewed by a Canadian.
More Canadians. There's always more.
Now, as we keep talking about the album artwork, I guess I should ask this next question. I think the artwork looks very nice. It's very simple and very to the point, and it's just a very nice, very well detailed piece of artwork. Who's the man that created this, and what made you want to choose this artwork for the Hive album?
Peter?
Sure. So the original art was a black and white, like no, like free license image of a cockroach, just like a one panel, like 4x4 image of a cockroach you got off like Shutterstock or something like that. It was like, oh yeah,
it was Flickr. We got it off Flickr.
Excuse me, and you threw a black and white filter on it, and that was the original art. So when we were talking about doing the re-release, it was like, well, do we expand on what we already have and try and keep it as it was? And I was like, no, absolutely not. You can't make like a full LP like display, jacket and cover and all that out of one image. And I know this artist. Her name's Kristen Holzer from college. I lived with her briefly. I'd known her for years, and I knew one of her favorite things to do is draw insects, especially like super grotesque, like disgusting insects. That's like her bread and butter. So when we decided, like, yeah, we're going to keep the bug theme, like we're not going away from that, we workshopped the idea of like, all right, what about just like a bunch of different bugs with like the cordyceps fungus growing out of them, and we'll develop that, like we'll run with that. And when we decided that, I was like, I know the perfect person. And I reached out to her. I was like, would you have any interest, like these bugs with fungus coming out of them? She was like, yes, absolutely, yes. I have to do this. And she murdered it. She did a phenomenal job with it.
I know it turned out great. Now, did you ever think, like 5 years ago, when you were still young and still creating half, that you'd be sitting here right now on this date talking to some random 20-year-old from Canada about your band?
No.
To be honest, when we first dropped Hive, like my plan was to like be as secret as possible. No, just keep our aces and all that just hidden. Like, obviously that hadn't panned out, but at the time, I was like, guys, we should just not tell anyone who it is. I mean, I thought that was a cool idea. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I guess, for...
It's a little late to go back on that, Frank.
Oh, yeah, we're like 4 years too late on that.
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of it, too, was like, we've been in many bands for a big portion of our lives that, like, when we did the EP, we were just like, yeah, like, we'll just drop this and, you know, that'll be the end of it. Like, and that's pretty much how we treated it, too. And it didn't, you know, a lot of it was... like we dropped the EP, we played it a few times, Frank moved, and we were just like, all right, yeah, that's cool. like we didn't push it because we didn't have anything to sell because the EP was free. We didn't have any shirts, we didn't have any CDs or vinyl or anything like that. We didn't even have like stickers or anything like that. And the only money that we spent was to get the logo done. So like we spent like, I don't even know. We spent like $50, $75 on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent hardly any money on it. We were just like, yeah, fuck it. We'll just put the EP out and that'll be it. And then, yeah.
Yeah, actually, we dropped the EP like 2 weeks after I moved.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I guess we'll do this.
Yeah, because you moved and we were just like, all right, well, we should like, I mean, it's done. I guess we might as well drop it. And then we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it dropped, and then I spent like the next 2 weeks like answering what the name means, and then why, and like why Frank's such a nice boy. Why does he need to yell?
Who's your singer?
Oh my God! Yeah, that was
Frank,
like months.
Frank.
Yeah. Before we wound up like because for the longest time it was just, and it's on the, if you look at the wealth of knowledge that is Encyclopedia Metallum, on the EP credits or the, you know, who played on what on the EP, it literally still just says AJ, Frank, and Greg. Not even our last names, no nothing, because that's how we put it up on Bandcamp. On Bandcamp, we put it up and just put AJ, Frank, and Greg.
I want to go see this.
And then we were pretty much just like, yeah, like, because I think our mindset at the time, and still to this day, is pretty much just like, who gives a fuck? Like we dropped the EP. It doesn't matter who played what. It doesn't matter, you know, what was done on it. And then, yeah, I think for like a solid like 6 to 8 months afterwards, we were getting like messages. Like I was getting hit up on Facebook. We were getting comments on everything, being like, "Who's singing? Like who's singing on this? Like who's doing all the screams? Who's doing this? Who's doing that?" And then eventually we're just like, "All right, it's Frank. Like there you go." What, you feel better now?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm happy they finally put my name on Hath on Metal Archives. It was not there for like the first year.
They're stingy, man.
I was like, my picture. I'm in the promo picture. There's 4 of us.
They're tough.
Well, I guess, Frank, I have to ask this after hearing that. Why do you scream?
You're such a nice boy.
You know what? The world is a terrible place. It's the only thing that feels
Okay, so last year you released the album Of Rot and Ruin. This year you re-released Hive. Can we as fans maybe expect something next year from Half?
I guess it depends on who else is releasing things next year and where
Yeah.
we fall on the release roster.
We think you can expect it next year.
Yeah.
We hope.
Okay.
If it doesn't happen, it might be out of our hands. We can say
Okay.
that. We are hopeful.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of groups who we're going to drop stuff this year, and it's been pushed back. So we might have to wait our turn.
mhm.
Ah,
But yeah, I mean, as of right now, we don't have anything recorded yet. We have been writing. The quarantine has been kind to us in terms of creativity and songwriting. So we have songs. They do exist, and that's kind of where they are right now.
excellent. Perfect. Now, gentlemen, I have one very important question to ask you. I ask all first-time guests on the channel to ensure that I'm not just randomly talking to 4 random dudes from New Jersey. Oh, Jesus, my microphone went down. Oh, no. Oh, no. I hit my mic. Damn it. No. So, yeah. So, the question is kind of simple, I hope. I hope you find it simple. Who would win in a fight? Lemmy or God?
Lemmy is God.
Trick question.
Yeah,
What would he do? Punch himself in the face?
yeah. That's. I don't think Lemmy would do that.
Well, he did like the party.
That's. I feel like there's probably at least one time where Lemmy's punched himself in the face,
I feel like he'd say,
and honestly, he would say that he deserved it.
I think he'd say, nah, fuck off.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I guess the last question I do have to ask you, because we've already been talking for half an hour now.
Oh,
I find that insane that it's already been half an hour. For people who do not know yet who Half is, now explain to them, what is Half, and are they more than just a band from New Jersey?
I was gonna say we're a New Jersey band that isn't Bon Jovi or Bruce Springsteen.
we're from New Jersey and we play blast beats. So.
Musicians, fashion models, social media influencers.
Those are
part-time
things used to
chefs.
not describe us.
Yeah.
We're here to sing songs about bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
We just want everyone to feel sad.
Yeah. we just hope that everybody feels as sad as we do on the outside.
On the outside.
Yeah. We're just a death metal band from New Jersey that likes blast beats, likes solos, likes death metal.
I think Swedish musicians are the best.
Yeah, we love buzzsaw guitars and blast beats.
At this for the people.
Yeah.
Half is for the children.
That's more than true.
Path coming to a theater.
Coming to. So is
Oh,
the next? So after that comment, is the next album a full album dedicated to just covering children classic songs?
Who told you?
As funny as I think that would be.
No, that's following. It's going to be the Hath Christmas album.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tried to get it done in time for this year, but COVID. So next year, don't expect a Hath Christmas album,
Yeah,
Don't.
but also expect a Hath Christmas album.
but we can only cover the songs that we can legally cover. So there's like 3 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
3 songs.
but it's a 9-song album, so it's going to be those 3 songs played 3 times.
Like four remixes of Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
Oh no, do we lose Frank? Do we lose
No.
Greg?
No.
Oh, you're here.
We,
I don't know what happened.
We're gonna play "All I Want for Christmas Is You," but backwards. With fast beats.
Yes.
All I want for Christmas is you.
This interview is over.
Okay, I will stop spoiling the plans for next year's Christmas season, which I'm assuming will be the hottest Christmas gift next year.
Yeah, Hath Christmas sweaters, baby.
Yo, that actually I think could make money.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, but nobody asked for.
Yeah, we'll save that for next year.
Yeah.
They're probably so expensive to make.
Bro, hear me out.
You can't put a price on Genius, Greg.
Start knitting now.
Yeah.
I
Right.
got sausage fingers, man. I can't.
Hat yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Ooh,
Yes.
Ooh.
I quit.
Yes. Put that on a t-shirt. Boom.
Chill.
I hate.
Chills.
I hate how much I didn't hate that.
Yeah.
Pete, are you taking notes? Are you writing this down?
Yes. I've got my running doc open.
He's recording it. He's recording it. So
Yeah.
this is all
Don't worry.
set in
That
stone.
idea will forever be on YouTube for the rest of
Yeah.
time.
No one steal this. This is OC.
This is
Yeah.
our copyright.
Yeah.
don't tell the
Our
guy who makes the
idea.
patches. Just don't tell the guy who made the patches and
What they said.
Oh man.
Gentlemen, thank you for so much for taking time out of your very busy week to come and sit down with me for over a half an hour just to talk about the release of Hive. Is there anything else you would like to say to the wonderful people watching this on YouTube right now?
Check out our look us up on YouTube. Look us up on Twitch. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Is that everything? We're like all over. We're all over the place. Just like search for Hath Band, and you'll find us.
Mhm.
It's the only way to keep up with what we're doing.
Yeah, we got merch on our Bandcamp. We got merch on massacremerch.com. We actually just got put up some new pieces up on Massacre Merch for people to purchase. We got beanies for the cold weather. Get you one. We're working on an album. Don't hold out for that. We don't know when that's going to be done.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Rotten Ruin is still available. You can still get that and listen to it if you want. Hive is out now.
There's only a few vinyl left.
We're almost out of our first
Like
press of
20
vinyl. So that's a thing.
So get those.
Yeah, get those. I don't know. Buy stuff.
Yeah.
Listen to music if you like it. If you don't like listening to music, then I'm sorry I can't sympathize.
Try to keep your local venues open so that when this all opens up, everybody has a place to play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we actually just lost a awesome venue here in the Philadelphia area, Boot and Saddle.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, Boot and Saddle
Damn.
just closed for good. So, yeah, I mean,
I
this
think a
keeps
few more are
going.
about to close.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of funds and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, keep them open because if not, we're all going to be playing basements again, and we're too old for that.
So
Yeah,
So,
we're
We're
way too old to be playing that.
We'll be creeping.
don't spread
30.
COVID. Like,
Don't spread COVID, yeah.
stop spreading COVID. So like
Yeah.
bands
Wear a
can
mask.
play again.
Wash your
Right.
hands, y'all.
Frank, you're
Wear
the
a
host.
mask. Yeah. Quarantine.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, be like Frank. Frank's
Yeah.
responsible.
I'm
Yeah.
quarantining.
Yeah,
I
you're
gotta wear a mask everywhere I go.
Frankie Patient Zero.
Don't worry. If there's nowhere to play in New Jersey, you always have Canada.
I would love that.
That's true.
But Canada won't let us in because of COVID.
Okay, aim for the year 2022. Hit me up, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah. Fly us on the slow boat to Canada.
I will creep through the woods.
With my amp on my back.
We will find a way to get you over that border, legally or not.
Like the pioneers with my amp on my back.
Uphill in the snow. Both ways.
We'll use Pete's Jackson as an oar to get across the waters.
Yeah.
Well, John, thank you so much again for sitting down with me and taking the time to do this interview. I really appreciate it. And I know the people at home who are watching this right now do appreciate hearing from you, discovering you for the first time. And I don't know, like, just laughing because you guys are coming up with hilarious stuff right now.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
You are welcome.
Yeah, it's been great.
You are welcome. You four gentlemen are more than welcome back on whenever you want. Just shoot me a message here or on Instagram at Thrashers Paradise. Because have to plug, sadly.
Sick, man. We'll be over tomorrow. Keep the light on.
Okay, don't worry. I got beer. I got Canadian beer.
Hell yeah.
So
Is it Molson?
No, it's
no. It's called Moosehead.
Moosehead.
We have that here, right?
Oh, yeah, Moosehead here? Over there?
Yeah, right? Yeah, something like that, right? Don't we? I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely seen it. We definitely have it. Maybe I'm making shit up. I don't know.
No, I've had it at some bars.
Oh, okay. I did not know Moosehead was over in the States.
Yeah, they can't come back now because they're in the States. They got to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Quarantine the beer for 2 weeks, then sell it.
Yeah, keep it here.
Quarantine.
Trudeau's going to turn them away at the border.
Yeah.
No, you're dirty beer now. You've been to America.
Yeah.
Tainted. You're skunk.
Yeah.
That's poor beer.
Why let the beer suffer? Drink the beer.
It's not us, man. We're not
Not
making
you.
a decision. It's us.
Until next time, everyone, keep on thrashing.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome, and